All right, welcome to the Realest Topics, Realest TV. I'm back with another video. I'm exposing this clown Stephen A. Smith again. I've been exposing him all day. If you go down my page, you will see that I'm dropping bombs on him. Like and subscribe, and we're gonna keep pushing this message that Kwame Brown has gave us, man. We need to expose these people, get these people out of the way so we can really see the real information and real knowledge. We need people that's going to teach us the real information, the real stuff. Instead of getting paid to push a certain agenda that they want, to destroy people's characters and all this other stuff. We know the basis, we know what's going on. So I got two videos today that I'm going to expose Stephen A. Now this first video right here, let's get straight into it. It's 5 days ago. How he's talking about Kyrie Irving. Now I want you to see what I see. I got two videos, and I want you to see what I see. How he changed the narrative. How he's playing the masses. That's what he's paid to do. He's paid to do this certain things, to push this masses. Also, as a stage, we should all know that this media is stripped. They got strips to certain things. So we need to be woke. We need to understand what's going on while we watching these people, because these people putting out false narratives. They want you to hate certain people. These people that you need to love, they want you to hate them. They don't want. It's about entertainment, but it's more about an agenda that they have to push. So a lot of times, a lot of the headlines that they do is all about an agenda that's being pushed. It's all about an agenda. As you can see right now in the world, we got a racism thing going. So every time you see something big that's going on in the world, remember that sports is going to cover it, because they're with the system as well. They have to push the agenda as well. So let's break down these two videos, man. What this man is doing and how he's trying to manipulate the system and control the masses, and he really think people is stupid. That's the thing, really. So listen to what he has to say right here.
They're going to do to stop other teams. All they have to do is not be the worst defensive team ever, and they're going to be fine. I was very impressed with Brooklyn.
Why would you waste a minute and a half talking about Brooklyn like that? They ain't play. I thought you said the series was over in 3.
Yeah.
That they have no. So it's just that simple. And Jason Tatum got poked in the eye, and there's no Jaylen Brown. This series shouldn't even be taking place.
I don't want to talk.
It shouldn't even be taking place. We have not seen the Brooklyn Nets yet, as far as I'm concerned. Haven't even seen it, because what are they playing against? Boston has nothing. I feel bad for Boston, because I really wish Jason Tatum was healthy and Jaylen Brown was there and healthy. Because then, I'm not saying I would find out a lot about Tatum and Brown, even though they would still lose the series. The only thing that I have to say about Brooklyn other than that is, it's nice to see Blake Griffin playing basketball.
Are you more embarrassed for Boston?
No. I'm not embarrassed by Boston at all. They're hurt. They're not there. But remember with Blake Griffin, I was saying he didn't want to play in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's not that he couldn't play.
Turns out he can still play basketball.
He can still play.
High basketball IQ for your 11th option.
Let me shift to something that you might actually want to talk about. So the series.
So you heard that. Let me shift it to something that you might actually want to hear about. That you want to talk about. It's a strip. So now Stephen A. really wants to talk about this right here, this topic right here. This is more interested to him. He feel like he had to really talk on this topic instead of talking about what Max was talking. Why did you waste a minute on that? No, come on, man. This is sports. This is what you supposed to be talking about. You don't supposed to be talking about all this extra, all this mama jama, all this extra stuff. Check this out right here. So let's go ahead and fast forward it. Actually, let's play this part.
Now shifts to Boston. Whether Kyrie's, where we know Kyrie's tenure didn't exactly end on a high note, he will now play in front of Boston fans. This is for the first time since leaving for Brooklyn now that the COVID restrictions have been lifted. Kyrie, he shied away from the mic lately for much of the season, but he certainly had some choice words for the city of Boston. Take a listen.
I mean, it's not my first time being an opponent in Boston. So, I'm just looking forward to competing with my teammates, and hopefully we can just keep it strictly basketball. There's no belligerence or any racism going on, subtle racism and people yelling from the crowd. But even if it is, it's part of the nature of the game, and we're just gonna focus on what we can control.
All right, let's bring in a man right now.
Now, did you hear what he said? Matter of fact, I want to play it back.
For the city of Boston. Take a listen.
I mean, it's not my first time being an opponent in Boston. So, I'm just looking forward to competing with my teammates, and, hopefully we can just keep it strictly basketball. There's no belligerence or any racism going on, subtle racism and people yelling from the crowd. But even if it is, it's part of the nature of the game, and we're just going to focus on what we can control.
All right.
Now, you heard what he said. He didn't try to act like Boston was a racist place and all this. He didn't go all crazy with it. He just want to come there. He want to play basketball. What he can control, he can control. What he can't control, he can't control. He just want to keep at a minimum of the little racist stuff, because he played there. He know what they do. He done encountered all of that. So he knows that. So now watch what Stephen A. Smith does to the narrative. Now, he got to switch it up. He got to make it look. He got to make it look bigger than what it is. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward because Perk's going to talk first. We're going to fast forward it to your boy.
Found great people that were not the same of me, and it was good.
Well, I can speak about it. I'm not a former Boston Celtic. I know plenty of people who happen to be black that has spoken negatively about racism in Boston. I'm not going to say that it doesn't exist, but I'm going to tell you this. I think it's a phenomenal sports town. Mm-hmm. I think the actions of the few shouldn't taint the many. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm going to say that Kyrie Irving was wrong to do this. Mm-hmm. He was flat out wrong. Because I don't think this is about race at all. If you go to a Boston Celtics fan, when they are against you, it's because you're not a Boston Celtic. It's not because you're black. It's because you're not a Boston Celtic. Now, again, we got race issues in New York. We got race issues in Atlanta. We got race issues all over this country. So let's not act like it's confined to the streets of Boston, Massachusetts. Okay? And if you're Kyrie Irving, here's why he's wrong. He's negating his role in the vitriol he's received and he's anticipating receiving from the Boston fans. It was Kyrie Irving 2 years ago, October 4th, if I remember correctly. Brian Scalabrine was hosting, emceeing some event to the Boston Celtic fans. It was Kyrie Irving sitting there next to Gordon Hayward, sitting next to Al Horford at the time. And Kendrick Perkins, you'll remember this, Kyrie Irving stood up before the crowd and said, I have every intention on re-signing with this team. Okay. If you'll have me. And then he got up and left. Might that not have something to do with them disliking you? I think that might have something to do with it. And so when we look at it from that perspective, you are now the enemy because you decided to depart from them, to go to another team as a free agent, to coax Kevin Durant into coming with you, because that's why Kevin Durant's in Brooklyn, because Kyrie Irving wanted to be in Brooklyn. KP knows this. Everybody covering the NBA knows that. It wasn't the other way around. KP followed Kyrie.
So what he's saying is, because we got to stay woke, people. We got to stay woke. He didn't say Boston was so racist. He didn't say that. He just said he wanted to keep the racism stuff at a minimum. So what you saying is, because you're kind of contradicting yourself a little bit, Stephen A. All that little stuff you just said about them not hating him because he said he was going to sign again and all that stuff, that gives them the right to say racist stuff to him? Because you're confusing. Because you want to paint a narrative, you're being so confusing, so we got to stay woke on what you're trying to say. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say it's okay because you said, okay, they don't like you because you didn't do this? Okay, just because somebody don't like you doesn't mean they need to be racist to you. I mean, come on now. So what are you saying? Like, again, look what this man is doing. Just look at what he's doing. Just listen to this guy, man. It's crazy.
Because that's their boys, and KD wanted to go where Kyrie went, and Kyrie wanted to go to Brooklyn instead of MSG. It is what it is. The point that I'm trying to make is, sure, you can make a case. There has been some things that have been spewed in Kyrie's direction. I have no doubt about it. Racially insensitive, racist even, okay? But that doesn't speak for the entire city of Boston. And more importantly, I don't care who you are. You are white, you are black. If you ain't a Boston Celtic and you are about to go against the Boston Celtics, whatever they find to talk about you that they believe has the potential to get under your nerves, they will do that. Kyrie Irving knows that. Get on the court, handle your business. This was not the place or the time to bring up that when there's a history that shows, oh, they're getting at you strictly for basketball reasons, not because you're black.
The Chris Rock line, I'm supposed to be.
So you see what I'm saying, people? I know I'm not the only one, man. If you like this video that I'm putting together, please like, share, and comment. Please, and subscribe to the channel. This is ridiculous, man. What is this guy talking about, man? Get this guy off of ESPN. This is crazy. What are you talking about? What is he talking about? So now, let's go to the video that he done today. Let's go to that. That he done today. And see how it switches. See how it switches now. See, let's see how Stephen A. switches. But he got so many identities, you don't know who that man is. Like Kwame Brown said, put a thing that could be a white person under the hill. I mean, really. Like, we gotta expose these clowns, man, for who they really are. We have to expose these clowns for who they really are, people. Seriously.
That bothers me because to me that is something.
So this is what we gonna do. Now y'all heard the last video.
It's like consequences be damned. Why? He doesn't want to get caught, but if I do get caught, whatever. This is worth it.
So listen to your boy.
Everybody needs to be on alert.
This
now, the racism and all of that stuff that Kyrie alluded to. I also want to point out there's a whole bunch of.
Check your boy. Check him out now, and then check out the code, people.
He's still in jail. I don't know if they took him to jail, but if they did it, they should have. And if he was taken, he should still be.
Let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back.
How does the league handle this? How do we as the media handle this moving forward?
Well, first of all, I love the fact that the kid was arrested. Mm-hmm. I hope he's still in jail. I don't know if they took him to jail, but if they did it, they should have. And if he was taken, he should still be there. That's number one. Number two, I love the fact that we all saw him on camera. I think that shame and humiliation is an important deterrent because a lot of times people are emboldened because they get to hide. And when you show that everything's going to be brought to light, then that serves as a potential deterrent. Number three, in the interest of fairness, I also think that's important because we all know that the players, the athletes themselves, they would be in this position. They would be put front and center and their faces would be treated like mugshots if they were to engage in any kind of insidious behavior. And so I love that. But the NBA, as I said last week, everybody needs to be on alert. Now, the racism and all of that stuff that Kyrie alluded to. I also want to point out there's a whole bunch of people in that crowd that pointed out the kid who threw that ball.
He really don't want to see
So I think that's incredibly important to point out that it wasn't people turning a blind eye and a deaf ear. They were like, oh no, that was him. And everybody pointed that kid out, and it was a beautiful thing that they did that because that's incredibly important, particularly with Boston and its history to some degree, which is what Kyrie Irving alluded to. Right. Having said all of that, let's take this a step further because as I said last week, Max, it's not just about the fact that George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin, the cop in Minneapolis, and then there was social justice issues and protests and initiatives that were taking place. You had a whole bunch of people that were stuck home, like Kevin Durant alluded to. And they've been waiting to get at these players. They've been waiting to get at them. I don't believe they came to the court, even though Kyrie, you could say it was classless or whatever, he stepped on the leprechaun at midcourt and all of this other stuff. I don't believe for 1 second that things like that prompt somebody to do the kind of stuff that we saw.
Here's that incident you just alluded to where he's stepping on the leprechaun.
I don't believe that's what did it. I believe you've got folks who come to these games and they have an agenda. They know exactly what they want to do ahead of time. I really, really do, particularly with these players. Now, at some point in time, white America is going to have to wake up and stop trying to act like racism is a thing of the past. It's not.
So they have an agenda now, is what you're saying, Stephen A. Because when Kyrie Irving has said what he said, he was wrong. So now that something happened, you kind of twisting your words up. You don't really want to contradict yourself. You want to racist this. You want to say little stuff like that. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say Kyrie Irving was right. But see, you can't do that. You can't do that. Are y'all following me? He can't do that. He can't say Kyrie Irving was right. He want to say it so bad, but he can't say it. Go on, say it. Go on, say the man was right. Go ahead and say it. Why you can't give him credit? He was right. He was right.
It's present. And in my estimation, the reason why I'm able to be cool and calm about it is because I'm not apologizing for saying this. I know there's a bunch of racists out there. I know they've been out there. I know they are out there. And I know they're going to be out there. I don't give a damn what y'all say at all. I'm not saying everybody.
He looks scared.
I'm not saying most.
Of course
not. But there are a lot of folks out there who happen to be white that really, really, really have a problem with black people, particularly black athletes, being in those positions. And anytime they get an opportunity to express their venom and vitriol and hostility, they're going to take it. Doesn't surprise me. I'm not shocked. Of course, it's disappointing, but it is what it is. Trae Young gets spit on. Ja Morant's family, okay? Of course, you got Kyrie Irving, all right? These are the kind of things that we're talking about here. White men coming at black men. And in a secure, insulated environment where you don't have to worry about direct retaliation, and Russell Westbrook, of course, because you know they're going to be restrained. That's what's going on. We understand it. Don't be surprised by it. It's incredibly disappointing. The leagues, the media, and everybody else is just going to have to stand up and say, we know who the hell you are. We know what you are. We're not surprised by it. You'll be dealt with. That's what you do.
I'm not convinced that maybe.
Are y'all following me, man? He was scared to say Kyrie Irving was right. He was scared. He was scared to say you should have said that man was right when that man said what he said. You don't want to say that. Now it's a mumble jumble. It's this and his dad and the media. We know it's racism here and there. We know this. Saying a bunch of nothing, man. When you should have got up there and said, you know what? I apologize to Kyrie Irving. He was right. That's what you should have said. That's exactly what you should have said. That's crazy, man. I'm going to keep exposing these clowns, man. I'm going to come out with some more videos, but I'm going to keep exposing these clowns for who they are. Keep putting this message out here that Kwame Brown has been delivering. I really am. Like and subscribe to the channel, man. If you think this video, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, man. We're going to keep exposing these people. Share this video, man, so we can put this content out to people. We want to keep exposing these clowns for who they are, man. For real. Peace of abundance. I love y'all. Y'all take care of yourself. And stay tuned for some more videos.